Getting dice and waking up to DnD. Great, good.
Nothing to worry about. It's all good. All right. Whoa, that is a hotkey, is what that is. Oops. I'm still figuring out all my hotkeys. There's this thing called the computer. Oh man. All right. Let's get this party started, shall we? Hey, everybody. My name. Oh, you're on the. There we go. My name is Todd, and I have to duck apparently because I've got the thing standing up. It's better for my back. All right, welcome. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons tonight. I'm Todd. I'm gonna be the DM. These are some friends. They've been with us from. I think all three of you have been pretty much here from the beginning, or very, very close. I'm excited. This is episode 38, and we are gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. We're doing Descent into Avernus, as you can see, but it's also combined with a homebrew, so it's all mashed up together. We're going to do a quick intro and then dive into the action. Unfortunately, a couple people couldn't be here tonight, but that's alright. We'll just slaughter their characters and move on.
Said. This episode brought to you by the letters Couch and Orange, and the number Umbrella. Welcome to the pit of melted rubber duckies.
Oh man, that would stink. All right, absolutely. Thanks for jumping in here, Yafin. Good to see you again. And you know how this works, but I gotta say for everybody else, if you have any suggestions during game, please hit it into chat, and we will happily incorporate it into game as soon as we possibly can. All right, you can name stuff, throw new baddies at them, give them some kind of benefit, come up with an idea, or just laugh and say, hey, whatever works. All right, let's do this thing. Let's go around, shall we? How's everybody feeling this week?
Beautiful.
Right, hang it in there.
In case you can't tell, I've had some coffee. Oh no, I'm never going to sleep tonight. All right.
Good luck.
I forgot to ask a question off stream, so we'll wait till the break for that one. All right, let's go around the horn. All right, Gordon, why don't you start us off?
Hey, Gordon. Been playing this campaign since the first episode, and I am still with the same character, Fenris, your resident shadow sorcerer who tends to walk a line of moral ambiguity.
Thus, the name. All right, fantastic. All right, and you are in hell now, and you keep... It's like a bad penny. Your nemesis showed up last... Was that last one or the one before?
The one before, yeah.
Right, and you pushed him off a cliff, as you were wont to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're just a shove mage.
It took some time, but...
It did, yeah. I think that should be a subclass, shoving mage. All right, anyway, we'll keep going around the horn. Let's go over to Bela.
Hey everybody, I'm Bela and I play Darmita, and she's our Gloomstalker Ranger. She's a bit of a cranky pants right now. We won't get into the reasons from last week, TMI on that, but yeah, she's in hell, and that's not a place for somebody like her to be.
I mean, you have been through a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you had to kill your undead mother. You know, it's a big deal.
Oh my god, that's been long. I almost...
Before you even ended up in hell, actually pretty close to the damn gateway that you went through.
It was the game before.
Yeah.
Killed her.
Well, killed her on another plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've discovered since that lots about your undead mommy. You've been down here and discovered she was once a member of a group called the Hell Riders, who was going down to hell to throw down under the watchful gaze of Zariel. All right, so we'll see what comes up next with Darmita, but we'll be keeping
to do copyright stuff, but every time you say Hell, she was a member of Hell Riders, or I see the name of the cavern we're going into, all that comes to my mind is Henry Rollins.
Dude, he would be amazing to play D&D with, although he definitely, I don't care what he's playing, he would have to play a barbarian, at least multi-class.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, I gotta say hello to the innkeeper.
Henry, if you're out there, you can play with us.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think maybe next game or maybe on break we'll ask the question to the audience: what would your ultimate group be? I mean, besides us. I mean, obviously.
Said Henry Rollins, Bard/Barbarian.
A Barbarian. Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing.
Classic.
Yeah, for sure.
Unlike me, which is Bard anything somewhat not useful. All right, let's bring it around to Darcy. I'm sorry, I'm totally trying to run 4 things and something just started flashing over here.
Yeah, I'll just take it. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
do
Darcy.
it.
You can find me at twitch.tv/DarcyBits. You can also find my art at Void Stretch Kings on Instagram and other places and junk. It's a mess. Go to my links in my Twitch bio. For this game, I gotta say it because Gordon did. I've been playing this game since session 1, and while I'm not still playing the same character, I have returned to playing the same character. So I'm playing Henrietta Pedersen, also known as Hen, the pacifist paladin of Halor.
Oh yes, and that
We're about to run into a dungeon, which is I'm a little worried about what I'm gonna have to do.
Oh, right. I mean, she is a pacifist, strictly speaking, so this could be difficult for her. Although, you've scared the crap out of some of the stuff in Hell. I mean, you don't...
No, I'm okay with that.
Said best group, Henry Rollins dmang the game with the kids from Stranger Things.
Except if he pisses off 11, she'll pin him to the ceiling. Just saying. But I like that. That's awesome. Thanks, Yelfin. All right, so now one clarification, and I've been curious actually, is Henrietta a pacifist when it comes to fiends?
I don't know. The only time it's come up so far, it's been like a weird dream world that wasn't real.
That's true. Well, and you were pretty wrecked up when Ben Kuhn died.
Yeah, she wasn't involved in that combat.
She basically was asleep.
Yeah,
right.
In combat.
That's actually...
So, I don't know. It says inherent evil is a thing.
All right,
but also, most of what I have been taught has been from a church that I have learned is a kind of a sham. So it's a little hard to know. Is inherent evil true? I don't know. I don't know.
Sounds like... who the hell are you?
You got it right the first time.
Henrietta is going to be encountering some existential crises by the sounds of things in just a few seconds. Roll for existential crises.
Yeah.
I think that should be a thing. Actually, it is a thing. It's called ISO. All right, so we're going to dive in now. I just did want to remind people that they have plot points. So all the players have 2 plot points, and the crowd watching, you have unlimited plot points. So if you think of anything kind of exciting or fun or weird, feel free to throw it at us, and we'll try to roll with it. Of course, we don't want anything too offensive and nothing that'll insta-kill the party. That's my job. And let's not forget, unfortunately, one of our players couldn't make it today, and that is Carl, who's playing an Aarakocra monk, which we learned a little bit about last week. And so the Aarakocra monk, unfortunately, could not be with us. So that's Valerie. But of course, they are technically here. And of course, there's also Jay, who is Archibald, who's gone missing in the dream world. And unfortunately, there was once upon a time someone named... Jay's not missing in a dream world. His character is. And then Ben Kuhn, Trent. We had a fun send-off with that. So that's going...
I didn't see that graphic till now. That's...
I have never seen that graphic.
Is that 2 on the nose?
I have it on my other monitor, and I saw it, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, we missed Ben Kuhn.
Dead.
No Missing way. In action, dead. Turn to the nothing. All right, so we're gonna dive in.
Oh, that'd be a great boss to have to fight.
Oh yeah. Henry Rollins is Barbarian, voiced by Trent. All right, so we're going to dive in and get started now. So, thanks very much for joining us, and let's play some Dungeons and Freaking Dragons. I don't know why I'm doing the weird voice. All right, let's do this.
Yeah.
You find yourselves standing before a gateway, 15 feet below the surface of a hill. The stench of sulfur is in the air. The oppressive heat, the roiling sky blocked by the stone above you. You would think it would be cooler down here, but somehow it's just the oppressiveness, the dampness, the heat. It all just reminds you with every step. You are in hell. You're in Avernus, the first layer of hell, found your way to the crypt of the Hell Riders. The little old man standing next to Darmita, finally wearing a robe, kind of muttering up at her. The rest of you standing in front of this doorway and taking a first few steps into the crypt below, seeking the answers that you have sought since you were flung into this mess. And now perhaps there are some answers within. You look back and notice that Valerie has been standing in the entrance for a few moments. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm guessing I went probably further ahead sooner
Are you more of a...
to check things out, so I'm not sure I would have noticed her.
Okay.
So I'm going to just continue looking and doing some searching.
Absolutely.
I'll call out. I'll say, Valerie, are you coming?
Do an insight check for me.
Insight check.
I think I'm probably similar to Darmita there, where I'm focusing on the fading. I think it's fading now.
20.
Locate object. Continue.
Yeah, your locate object, Henrietta, is just starting to, like, you can sense it starting to get dimmer ahead of you. You had searched for pacts. You'd searched for contracts, specifically devil contracts or fiendish contracts. And you have a strong sense of them ahead, a little bit down, and off to the left. Meanwhile, Fenris, you look at Valerie. You've seen some pretty horrible things in your life, and it's left a mark on you. One that you often try not to dwell on. And you look at Valerie now, and you can see Valerie is going through some shit. You can see a cold sweat just breaking out along the feathered forehead. The feathers slick with the dampness, but more than that, nervousness. The hackles that are raised on the back of the neck and the feathers kind of puffing up around the crest. Eyes and head darting back and forth, shuffling nervously from foot to foot as they look in. Valerie seems to be observing the low walls pressing in ahead. Perhaps I should keep an eye on things up here.
All right, you cover our way out then.
You lock eyes for just a second with Valerie. And this thought, it's not telepathy, but you get this gratitude. Just, thank you.
I'll hear that happen, and I'll turn back. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, go see if you can take Barnabas' company. And if you like, maybe do something about the stress.
The bravado of the Shadow Monk is back in a heartbeat as you mention that, and looks down and is like, you'll be lucky. I'll hold them off. And he flies off. You hear the flapping of wings and scratching of the feathers against the surface. Didn't even walk the rest of the way up the stairs. All the way up. You turn back to the entrance before you.
Shrug at that, I guess.
Meager numbers. Alright, I'm going to drag you to a new map. Welcome to the Crypt of the Hell Riders.
Right.
What could go wrong?
I don't believe you can see anything right now, so let me unblock a few things here for you. Viewers get to see, and if they snitch on you. All right. So before you,
this way.
yeah, you can see before you it is worked stone, and the hallway splits in a T-junction at the base. You guys are just here, having just opened the door.
Set.
Okay.
Oh,
I can't see anything.
Put that thing in there. Just kidding. Maybe.
Maybe. Nice. All right, so you guys are just at this one entrance. The doorway is open, so if you want to place your minis, just so we can get.
Black.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's all black. Yeah.
Oh, it's doing the thing. Let me just.
But I can still place it.
Let me just drag you over. What's it doing? You know what it is? It's the dynamic lighting.
Yeah, just toggle it on and off.
Let's try to do that. Just one sec. Just 1 second. This has been brought to you by Dynamic Lighting and Waffles.
Waffles.
You can't spell hell without waffles. Okay, maybe. Can you see now?
Off hell. I mean, I'm at the map still.
Why? Why? Interwebs? Why? Anybody else know why?
I'm still at the map. Everyone else? I don't just have to reload, do I?
No. We're at the,
there we go. There we go. I think you'll be able to drag back in now. Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
Now you can see the whole damn thing.
Well, that's fine.
This is not what I meant to have happen. Let me see if I can hide it. And turn on.
You said...
There you go.
There we go.
Yep.
Now, that was a sneak preview. That pulse of the locate object is stretching out before you. You see this path. And it's a fog. You're not sure if you can remember it all, but you do get the idea that something important was down the hall and to the left.
Yeah, can I get like a ping, actually, on this map?
Sure.
Because it would be a direct line, right?
It would be a direct line.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I'm going to need to figure out what that is. Hold on one sec. Wait, you're going to ask... No, it's all good. It's all good.
I think it's picked up in somebody else's mic, I think.
Maybe mine?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't notice anything.
Interestingly enough, you're getting several pings. So, you're going to be getting pings
Should be the closest.
as follows. Oh boy, hold on. 6 and 5. Okay. So, the biggest of the pings, the most powerful, obvious thing that draws you forth is coming from this direction. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's the most obvious of them. However, you do get slightly smaller senses of little bloop, just little echoes here and there, as though there are several other places, one even further down.
Okay.
And off to the right, but a little bit further away. But definitely the most obvious one.
So
well.
I'm gonna bend those rules.
I'm gonna break some rules tonight.
Love it.
All right. So, what do you want to do?
I'm going to cast see invisibility.
Nice.
Good call.
All right. So the darkness, which is not usually a thing for you, you can usually pierce through the darkness with your shadow-gifted eyes. However, it's almost like this fog appears that seems to somewhat illuminate the area only for your vision. You're just picking up these little wisps and little flickers in the corners of your vision. Nothing jumps out at you at the moment, literally or figuratively, but it is active, and it should help you in detecting anything ethereal or ghost-like or invisible. You take a glance around and nothing stands out at the moment.
Is my I think right kind of at the end of last session when we sort of walked into the cavern, I think I had used a second level spell slot to do
Primeval awareness.
Right.
Yeah. So how is that kind of, because I can't remember last.
And it does maintain for a little while, so we'll say that that was just as you were opening the door, so you've managed to get kind of where you are on the map, and it's still active for about another 30 seconds or so. I think it lasts about a minute. And 2 minutes, perfect. All right, so
the spell slot makes it last longer.
Right. So from left and right, you get these sudden just these pings all over the place. Ping, ping. I won't do them all, but you're getting this sense that you are... The whole place has an undead sense to it, and as you close your eyes and concentrate on this sounds, this quiet scraping, the whispering hush of long past voices echoing in the halls, there is a lot of undeath in this crypt.
There's hide. We await our legends. We will await. Commander.
That's not creepy at all.
Alright. So unless Darmita stops me because she wants to scout ahead, Henrietta's going to be walking forward. She's got light on her shield and is sort of heading towards, trying to at least get like line of sight to where her locate object was telling her to go.
Okay.
So I'll just move to like here so I can sort of see.
How big is the light that's emitting on you?
I don't know, it's normal. It's like 30 or something like that. I don't know how big, whatever. It's so rarely that relevant what exactly it is. I can look it up.
That's fair. I don't even know if that'll show on the map, but I'm doing it anyway. You're shedding light.
Cantrip is 20 feet of bright and 20 feet of dim.
Cool. So yeah, you are a glow stick. You were just like, boom. The brilliant... What color?
I believe you decided that it was green. It's not my spell, it's Darmita's.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. So Darmita, what color is it? We can retcon that. These are the important things about Dungeons and Dragons. You have to understand. It is an aesthetic.
Yeah, I think I do recall we did kind of establish that. I think we did say it was green.
All right. So
I can't remember fully.
You're casting a green light as you walk around. It does wash out towards the center into a bit more brilliant, like it mixes with yellow in the middle, but the extended light kind of fades away to green. As you come around the corner, you enter, you kind of boldly step out, not showing no fear of anything within. You enter the funerary chambers. Large iron burial urns are positioned reverently throughout this hall. Each is engraved with a noble coat of arms from the city of El Torel. You recognize several names, Henrietta, at a glance. Old family names. Polished swords, lances, and shields hang from weapon racks on the walls. There is an extending hallway immediately to your right. The whole place is only about 20 by 25. There's a hallway extending further due south from where you are, and you can see little alcoves off that hall given the brightness of your light. There's also another... It's not a perfectly rectangular room. You can see these two, in particular, funerary urns sitting in this corner, just to the left of the door when you enter. There's another hallway extending, I want to say, like, diagonally on the opposite side of the entrance from where you entered.
I'm going to take a look at the urns. Do I notice any writing? Do I see anything weird with?
Sure. Do you want to do perception or investigation?
Perception.
Okay.
Mainly perception at this point, just to see if there's any ghosts inside.
Sure.
And I'm curious what this thing at the side here of the room is. It looks kind of like a bookshelf or something instead of shelves, maybe.
Those are the weapon. That's the weapon racks.
The weapon racks. That makes sense. Yeah.
The weapons, most of them look like they've been protected from the elements down here, so they're not too badly rusted or anything, and they're probably, if you had to guess, I mean, you have a feeling that they are in relatively good shape, although they have seen use. They've been cleaned.
There's no and
put back properly.
Plaque or inscriptions that says what they're if they're here for a specific purpose or.
It doesn't. I mean, they're just hanging there as though awaiting use.
I would assume as much, but you never know. There might be
All right, Fenris, how did your perception roll go?
16.
16. All right.
Yep.
So you're glancing at this from here, and you're looking for any runes or writing on the urns. And it looks like there may be a name on the side, or actually, it looks like there's several names etched along the edges of these urns. It looks like it's more than just a single internment, and it is a funerary urn. Within, you can kind of glance and see there are some ashes, but to see anything more, you're going to have to get a bit closer. You're still about 10 feet away.
Okay, a little bit closer to the first one.
All right. You look in it. Sorry, go ahead, Darmita.
Actually, also going to be investigating those. I got up pretty close to what I would be the first one as we walk in.
All right, so as Fenris steps into the room to catch a better look, you kind of reach over and start kind of just gently touching a bit of the urn, and you kind of peek your hand, kind of stick your hand over inside to feel if there's anything. As she sticks her hand in, Fenris, you see, because of your invisibility vision, you see a face just below the lip. As you take a step closer, has translucent, kind of semi-blue, wispy face, and our Darmita starts reaching towards it, and these eyes flash with a sense of darkness, anger. So you reach out, you grab her hand and help her, and snatch her hand back. Can I just get you both to do a D6 roll for me? And add your dexterity. Do D20 and add your dex. Or initiative mod.
Didn't make any noise. No reason why I would have heard it.
You would have heard Fenris say, pull your hand back.
15.
And Darmita?
19.
You are the faster of the two of you, so unfortunately you'd already been reaching in. And so he reached up and said, get your hand back, but you'd already put your hand past the lip, and your fingers touch this icy coldness as they cross through the threshold of the urn. And this chill spreads up your fingers, and you all hear this voice arise, not just from the one urn, but the other urn, and echoing in the halls around you. These multiple voices.
Desecrating.
I mean, I look back and I see this. What are you doing? Get your hand out of there.
Don't
go bothering the dead.
I was confused. I thought it was a dex to see if I got away in time.
No, it was actually to see if he could beat you in beating you to the punch.
I figured that out after the fact. It's the one time I wanted to be too slow.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, exactly. At this point, I'm going to ask you to roll initiative, because that's where we're at.
Okay.
All right. That didn't take very long. Let's do this. Yeah.
19.
I should write this down.
15. We're all rolling high for now.
For now.
Not to give you ideas, but do I have to do any kind of save or anything? Or
no, it was just you put your hands to the ghost's forehead. And it was just flavor. All right, Darmita, how'd you do?
19.
19.
Sorry, I'm looking at Darcy's. 22.
22. All right, Fenris.
18.
Nice. And Henrietta.
19.
Nice. All right.
Very good roll for me on initiative.
That's true. And apparently, I joked about needing to get my dice out, but now I actually do, because I'm not going to roll all of them on Roll20. Just some of them. Okay. All right. As you take a step back, and Fenris has grabbed Darmita's hand and kind of helped to pull her back a step, as as not one, not two, but three ghosts begin to rise up out of the hold on a sec, there should be three of those. Nope, I'll just copy. Sorry, one sec. So out of the urns, these spectral figures rise up, and they begin moaning, and the sounds that they're making are definitely angry noises. All right. Let me just paste up here. There we go. And of course, so we're going to start at the top. Still actually winning it just by one, I believe. I did roll really, really well for them, but you had to go and beat them. I never got to go first. All right. So let me just confirm something here. 1 second. Sorry. No, actually, Darmita, you do still manage to beat them, even when they roll really, really stinking high. Darmita, what do you want to do?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to... I'm actually going to take the attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And I'm going to back up a little bit here. So I'm a little more centered. And then I'm going to bonus...
Let's see what happens first.
Yeah.
Hit you and you get paralyzed and you lose your whole turn.
It's a good possibility.
It does swing. It does swing at you as you start to move away from it. Its hands just reaching out towards you, and does a 18 hit your AC?
No.
No, you just like the fingers brushing against your hair, even just as you pull back and step into the middle of the room.
I felt the cold.
Oh, it's horrifying. All right, so what do you want to do from there?
So at that point, I'm going to bonus action, third level hunter's mark on the one directly in front of me, and I am going to attack him with fury. And that's just more for flavor.
Absolutely. Just
so number one is what's going on here? My roll 20 isn't.
Oh.
Okay, let's see if I can do
That's
this again.
Yeah, give it a try. Hey, there it goes.
17.
A 17 hits.
All right. My second. I'm just gonna do all my roll.
It is a magical bow, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's for 12 piercing plus an additional. Oh wow. 18 piercing.
The first arrow the thing lunges up towards you. As the arrow just strikes it, and it passes partway through unimpeded, and then starts to snag as it goes through, and this whole being just kind of pulls back as though it's almost like a stick being pressed through a spider web. It kind of collapses a little bit before the arrow continues on, shatters against the wall behind. But you definitely are doing damage.
All right. And then I will take my second shot to see how that does. Sorry, I'm also managing my equipment here.
No problem. Tell me about it.
I know. It's like, wow. Where the heck? All of a sudden, I don't have a bow on my sheet. Did I
We can make that legit. Internet? Is that a plot point?
No, it's not, people. Don't be mean. 23.
23 hits with your
Another
second
8
shot.
Piercing.
Same one?
And plus, there you go. 8, 9.
That's going to be 13 points of damage.
Yep. So total is...
That's 31, right? With the other shot as well? Yep,
Yeah.
31 points of damage as it just fire. The ghost just flinching, little pieces of its ethereal webbish nature just being torn away and almost trailing out behind it for a few seconds and then evaporating onto the ethereal plane. It's definitely hurt. It's more translucent than when you first saw it. All right, that's your turn. Oh, right, it's your third attack. I forgot about that.
So 27 to hit. That's another 11 piercing plus the 5 plus the 8.
The third
22.
The third arrow as the ghost reaching out towards you.
Desecration. And the
last arrow just takes this last little sparkle of its face and right through one side of its jaw and just tears the wispy head away, and it just evaporates into the ethereal plane. Now, Fenris, on the ethereal plane, you see it as though it's more solid because you can see this all, and as such, you can see that each shot is like a tear of blood spraying behind it and then wisping away. It's where on the regular plane you can see it as this wispy kind of smoke or almost like web. On the ethereal plane, you see it as these red tendrils, these wounds tearing it apart, and the first ghost is gone. Nice job.
Out of curiosity, do I observe, because I'm technically attacking a ghost that's wispy and kind of, as you're describing, smoky like, are my do I see my arrows like down on the ground?
The first one went right, most of them go right through after slowing. So what happens is the first one shattered against the rock. It was such a hard hit. The second one did slow and kind of glance at an angle and go skittering off into a corner somewhere. You could retrieve it. And the third one also, it's actually right into the back of the urn. Like if the urn was up a little bit, it's now wedged into the back. And it's just, and the whole thing is just covered in this light frost.
All right. I just wanted to have a visual.
Absolutely. All right. Coming up next is the ghosts. Not that one. All right. So the first ghost is no more, but the second one steps forward and starts moving a little bit closer to Darmita here, and it opens its mouth, and just this horrible visage begins to just start to rattle, and the whole room just vibrates. You even see dust start falling down a little bit as it activates its horrifying visage. So each non-undead creature within 60 feet that can see it must roll a wisdom saving throw. That's all of y'all.
Desecration will be punished on orders of the commander.
Wow, holy...
Ooh, I'm going to use my luck point.
Well, if that's about to happen, I need to preempt and say, Darmita!
Well, I just wasted a luck
Acting
point.
a crit! And then I'll freak out, I guess.
And I don't remember if you're the kind of paladin that gives bonuses to saves.
I mean, every paladin does that, but A, they need to be closer, and B, I'm not high enough level yet.
Okay. I was going to say, you're pretty darn close. You're only about...
Yeah, it's 10 feet. It's supposed to be really limited.
Okay.
Whenever a paladin
hug
tries to pull
close.
that on you, tell them that everyone's always like 15 feet apart.
Yeah, it's true.
Call them out on it.
Yeah. All right, so you'd have to be 1 square closer for that to be in effect, and also 1 level
It
higher.
might be 15 feet, I don't know, but like it's very small. It's intentionally limiting.
Yeah,
You only
all right.
notice if you're
So
on
this
top
ghost
of the
releases this horrifying moaning. Everyone who failed their save, which I believe, wow, Gordon just rolled
yeah.
2 ones.
Terribly failed.
Oof. All right, you are all frightened for 1 minute.
It's not so bad.
If the fail saves by 5 or more,
Okay, never mind.
which is all of you,
All of us.
Yeah.
can I get you to roll 1d4?
Okay, that's not so bad.
Each of you, roll a d4.
1.
Great. It's terrible.
Come on, Bella, get a 1.
Fuck, not so far.
4.
4.
Oh. Okay, so what happens is each of you age 1d4 times 10 years.
Holy smokes. I thought that was bad, but
So
okay.
Gordon is now a spry 28-year-old, if I remember
20.
correctly.
yeah, 28.
Henrietta is not too much older than that, maybe in the early 20s now.
Sick.
Yeah, that just
I
happened.
would be in my
Balls
early
madness.
20s now.
Yeah, you're in your early 20s, and Darmita, the Aasimar, who's got a standard...
12!
She was also fairly young, fortunately.
5.
But
I didn't know that he...
How old are you now?
Fifth ed.
I'm in
Approximately.
game.
Yeah.
I'm 26.
well, now you're 66.
Yep.
Happy birthday!
What was that?
What a great birthday present. Thanks.
Ah,
So I could count on you.
all right. All right, so you...
I legit didn't know that Fifth Ed still used that mechanic. That's an oldie.
Yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so
Okay.
the lifespan just draws
Plot
out of
point.
you.
Confetti and a cake appears.
Absolutely. You knock into the weapon rack just a little bit as you kind of shuffle a bit. There's a few more than just the one you saw, and it knocks over this old small box, and it cracks open, and inside you see this rotten old cake, and this stuff falls out. Somebody had been planning a party. There you go. It's canon now. Thank you, Yafen. All right, so you are now a spry 66 as you're just like... Not that 66... We were talking about this earlier. Everyone who's young always thinks that old is like really old and you'll never get there, right? To rehash our pregame conversation. So you're like a fit 64, 66, what did you say?
66.
So you're a fit 66. Don't get me wrong, but you are now 66, which I believe has some game effects. We're just going to say that your constitution drops by 1, your strength drops by 2, and your agility drops by 1. And you gain a point of wisdom.
Oh,
Dexterity, not agility.
Like, so I have to
Dex.
drop my con.
You got to drop your con by 1, your strength by 2, and your dex by 1.
How about it set in next time you rest or something?
Dex? I thought you said just con, strength, and wisdom are changed.
And dex is by 1 down as well. But your wisdom is up by 1.
Wow.
Remember, according to D&D, your eyesight gets better with age. Very important to know.
All right. Can you post that so that I can...
Yeah. I mean, just keep track. It's only going to have an effect if it bumps you past one of those thresholds and changes a modifier, which it might have. Okay, so
It does.
you're just going to be 1 lower on anything that was an even number.
Oh, I'm going to be a negative on strength now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's how all my bards are. Noodle armed, singing little mother.
Smarter or wiser.
You are wiser. I am kind of hand waving that from an earlier edition, but I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, didn't think I'd need to know about that one. All right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's an official thing if this is actually like as per the module, there's probably some fighty version, but
Well, I'm sure there is. Let's keep it moving. All right, so that's that ghost has done its horrifying visage. All right.
do it again.
Next up, the other ghost steps forward, and seeing Henrietta goes after Henry. Actually, the ghost goes up to Darmita, and you look a little different. You look older than you were before now, and you spin around as you hear it. Just you sense it coming, this chill rising from behind you, and you look behind you, Darmita, and you see this visage, this angry-looking face approaching. It was once an older man. You can still see a wispy armor, as though it's got some rank in some kind of military as it steps forward, and you turn and look at it. Can I get you to roll your charisma plus your modifier Darmita?
Hold on. I'm just looking. I'm just.
Anything
Trying,
that targets your charisma.
Is a saving throw?
I'm
It
just
is
trying
not.
to get my things
If you've
set.
got, no problem. You may not need to do this permanently, but
No, I'm doing it temporarily.
Yeah,
I'm
just so the rolls are right.
But it's something screwed up, and now my constitution is quite a
Sure.
bit lower than it should have been. So.
oh, weird. Yeah, it should only have gone down by 1.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So,
As this ghost comes up to you, and if you have either some kind of persuasion or just straight up charisma, one or the other.
Oh, interesting.
Is this a charisma saving throw, or is this...
No, this is an ability check. As this thing approaches her, it's just kind of my way. I could have made it roll something, but I'm making her roll because it's more fun.
Yeah. Charisma save would be scary, but this seems less so.
This is something else.
Yeah.
I don't have much with charisma, so.
And you also roll a disadvantage, because we're all frightened.
This is not actually. Oh,
Is that how that works?
Guess I'll do persuade.
it's not at disadvantage. Actually, it's not in this case. This is just more whether it responds to something about her.
Okay.
Getting a little hand wavy here, but I'm okay with that.
I've got my wings. I could scare that bitch back. 16.
16 on persuasion. The thing comes towards you, and it's just inches away from you, and you can see that it's about to reach into your chest as though it's trying to take you. And its hands, it looks you in the eye, and then it stops. Can it be? Oh wait, hold on. Wrong voice.
Can it be? Is it you? We stand to serve. Halt.
Shit, what did I just do?
And the two ghosts both step back. And it's weird because their lower bodies just disappear. They're not actually touching on the ground, but you can kind of see as if they were standing at attention, and just kind of, even one of them raises its arm in a kind of salute, and the hand, you can see just the hand, and as it gets further from the center of it, it just fades away into ethereal wisps. Fenris, you can still see the whole creature standing there, both of them saluting, as though a superior officer stands before them.
Is it, are we still in initiative order? Or
Yeah, are you waiting for us to
No.
respond? Because I'm waiting for my turn, I guess.
You can take a turn if you want to, or you can respond. It's up to you. It's at the speed of words. If you have anything you want to say, you can say it. Otherwise, we'll
My
keep
turn
going.
has been words. All
right.
It's going to be.
All right.
I've been waiting.
As it should be. All right, Henrietta, it's your turn as they're both standing aghast in
Right.
front of these two ghosts.
I see that right before the ghost had summoned its frightening visage, I did call out to Darmita, sort of scoldingly. But I see this, and I would like to call out the names of these ghosts. As you said, I recognized the names earlier, and I would like to drop to one knee and say something like, Stand down. Your duty has come to an end. We're sorry for disturbing your sleep.
Can I get you to roll 2 checks? Number 1 is going to be a recollection check. Actually, no, the words are right there. So there are 3 names there. You call out all 3, and they respond to 2 of them, and just their spectral eyes kind of. It's weird because they turn and look, but this weird echo before their head turns and looks. Just the weirdness of being ghosts and ethereal. And then as you say this, go ahead and roll a persuasion check or religion check.
Disadvantage from being frightened.
Unfortunately, it is, as your voice is.
Quell up the courage to say this while staring down this frightening visage. That is a 21 at disadvantage.
All right. So you, the 2 of them look, and sorry, what was it you said again?
Stand down. Your duty has come to an end. We're sorry for disturbing your rest.
They nod to you.
And I'm kneeling, right? I got
Yeah.
my shield in front of me and I'm head down.
You can see their eyes take in the pillar symbol on your shield, and they give a nod, and they look up at Darmita, and the one who seemed to recognize you kind of blinks.
Yes. Commander. Although you seem changed, you and those who follow Hello. You are welcome here. We're sorry.
Thank you. We will do our best to not disturb any more of you.
We stand ready to report. And they kind of stand as though they're about to await something.
Okay.
Great. What do we want to ask them? This actually could be really useful.
Who is your ranking officer? Try to kind of like.
For a second, they look a little bit confused, and then they kind of glance, and the first one nods at Darmita.
And I turn and look at him and go, my mother.
Yeah, I thought just checking. I thought it might be someone else.
I figured it out as soon as he.
Yeah, I figured that, but I wasn't sure. Like I thought maybe there's another officer here.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ask him a question, but I mean, in terms of the effects, I mean, to an Aasimar, 66 not that bad. It's the new 30.
I think that just goes for humans too. I think 66 should be the new 30. I think that's canon now in this game.
So
hey, after this, you're gonna feel super young. That was a hell of a dice roll. I didn't realize it was gonna be that important. Anyway, the ghost that had touched you, that had been reaching out to possess you, who now recognized you, nods at you and says,
"If you wish, we will go. But it has been some time since we've seen you. We."
It turns and looks at Henrietta now, and says,
"Oh, that we could rest."
Sorry, just to clarify, the other one turns to Henrietta and says, in a kind of a one of the southern areas of Elturel accents, like down by the docks kind of thing.
As if we could rest. If we could only rest.
I have no idea what you just said.
Oh, sorry. Is it really garbled? I can try and ease that.
Awesome.
It's usually pretty okay. I just didn't catch what that was.
Okay. As if we could rest. If only we could.
Oh, gotcha.
Why can't you rest?
We are bound. Bound here. Serving Zariel as we were in life. Forever. Our crusade ended in failure. The general, the angel, all fallen to evil. Our commander, and looks at Darmita again, a little bit confused, and then kind of shrugs and then looks back at Fenris. Our commander taken a while, then turned. We are bound here. Cursed. We wish for release into the hallowed fields. But the oath we made to Zariel binds us to their service. Unless one could break us. Break us free.
Is your oath bound in a contract in here?
They nod.
I'm gonna look at the ghost that was trying to possess me.
Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna say to them, "You're seeing my mother."
He takes a closer look at you, and then looks a little sad. Yes. Though has it been this long? I see your resemblance. She spoke of you often.
I'm here to pick up where she left off. And to do the work you were set out to do.
A fool's errand. Mortals here in the hells. It's too much. But there is a chance. Your mother resisted a while. She fought. Was gone and returns now to us. A twisted shell. Once she is bound, supernaturally bound to Zariel's service now. There may still be good in her, but there is not much we can do bound here. Though, we do wish you well. May Bela bless you, and have mercy on the fallen.
If they destroy the contract you signed, does that free you?
This is the first time you've seen anything other than a vague sense of despair on its face. Despair and service. Now there's something almost like a second of a fleeting hope. Yes. Yes, if you can find these contracts. We've searched and searched. But if you could find them and strike them from the record, that would set us free.
If that's what it takes, I believe we can make every effort. Before we move on, can you direct us towards the Bleeding Citadel? Do you know of it?
Would that I could.
I understand. That's all I asked. You don't need to justify it.
The ghosts stand back, resuming that kind of half-faded standing at attention in front of a commanding officer. The one standing in its own urn up to its waist. The other remains kind of another smaller urn, not much of them was left, resting by the weapons rack, and the dispatched urn sitting empty. You're free to go.
This way. Continent track should be through here. Maybe not theirs, but someone's. It's a lot.
Yeah. Before we leave, I'm gonna grab the one arrow that I had and try to retrieve the other one.
It's at that moment you reach down and you really, you felt exhausted. And you did catch a fleeting glimpse of graying hair kind of dangling from your own head, but in the heat of it, you didn't get a good look. And as you reach out to pick up the arrow, you see your own hand. Wrinkles. Spots you hadn't recognized. You only now realize that you have aged considerably. Although to what extent, it's hard to tell. You retrieve your arrow.
But I couldn't retrieve the other one, the second one?
Yeah, you can get them both. Yep.
Okay, I'll grab those and I'll look at him and I'll be like, I'm sorry that I killed your companion. That was not my intention. I didn't mean to disturb you.
You will rise again in time. We all will if we are dispatched. Bound here forever. Unless you can do something about that. Daughter of Nishida.
Darmita.
We are sorry. And he kind of reaches up and holds up his hand to kind of... he reaches up to kind of mirror what you're doing with your hand when you were looking at it. And then he says... Oh, hold on. Alright, I hit the wrong button. Then he says... There are spells, ways to undo this. But do not linger too long, or the effects may be lasting.
Well, perhaps it's a lesson in being a little too quick. Maybe I need a little bit of slowing down.
He gives you a nod. All right.
Henrietta had started moving on, and then as she hears Darmita saying this, she turns back to watch. And
So to those who aren't seeing invisibly, the ghosts fade just from vision. Fenris, you can still see them, just faded outlines standing where they were. They are still there, although now they're not so active. They do resume their guard, their eternal watch in this corridor. All right, so you are heading down the next hallway, the diagonal hall, and it stretches on for about 15 feet or so, then curves, goes another 10, and then opens up into a larger room. This room, probably 40, 50 feet across, a bit of a, almost like a parallelogram in shape, generally. Ahead of you, when you enter this room, you can see immediately 4 memorial stiles stand in the hall, like almost like tombs, or almost like caskets, but much more ornate. These are bigger as well. Each of these is engraved. As your brilliant light shines on it from your shield, you see hundreds of names etched with absolute care into these stiles. A legend etched at the top of each style, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, reads in common: "Here lie the fallen. May their souls echo here until the end of time." Adorning the walls across from this is carved a relief showing a solemn, blindfolded angel on the back of a mammoth with feathered wings, etched into stone. Very good craftsmanship. They took a long time with this, whoever made this. The mammoth is reared up on its hind legs, and the angel holds a sword high. All around them, in the relief, are broken bodies of fallen knights and devils. All right. There is a sense in this room of a very subtle pulse. And mostly it's Fenris who picks up on an ever so slight shimmer. You can't find a source with invisibility, see invisibility, but you get this impression of, I don't know, it's almost like there's the static buildup before a lightning strike. But it's very, very subtle. Alright, what do you want to do?
I'm just going to take a look. I'm not going to touch anything. I want to take a look at one of the stels.
Okay.
And, like, the names, just to... So it says, like, no echo here forever. So all these names here, is anything else that I can just pick up?
You can do either perception...
Do I see, like, a contract?
You don't see any contract or parchments as you look around this room, but you see these names, and do a perception check for me. Actually, everyone can if you want.
Yeah, I've sort of wandered more northward. I'm looking at what's the top wall here.
Just a 9.
Go ahead and roll a perception check there,
I
Henrietta.
will roll one, but like, what is it?
Oh, it's more of the same. That's the little padded out section. That's the relief. This massive stone sculpture. It gives an impression of 3 dimensions, but it only sticks out about a foot, and you see these carvings. I assumed
you weren't describing something behind us, so I didn't.
No, exactly. Otherwise, the room appears to be empty. Go ahead and do a perception check for me, anyway, though.
Yeah, 20. Unless I'm still praying, which I assume I'm not.
No, that's faded.
16 for me.
All right, and Gordon, how'd you do?
Just a 9.
Just 9. All right, so you're looking at this, and these styles just appear to. They have these really ornately carved names. The most you can pick up is that these were carved with great care, and they are intricate and they are old. And there's a fine layer of dust over everything, but besides that, it all looks pretty much... you don't get much more than that. With your 16, Bela, after a few seconds, you're glancing around and you see a series of names. Again, these old Elturel family names. And there's things like, lieutenant and private. There's these ranks as well as you're looking at all these, and you're seeing probably 100 names. Maybe it's hard to tell from this angle, but you just see a lot of the names. And the other thing you pick up with your 16, Bela, is after a few seconds on the first one, the farthest one to the left from where you enter, just past Henrietta, as Henrietta's looking at this carving on the opposite wall. On the first one, yeah, that one, you see your mother's name. Commander Nishida. Watcher's rank First class.
I'll probably regret this decision, but so far I'm regretting a lot tonight.
It's the best.
I'm gonna actually walk up to it. I'm gonna go closer.
Okay. You walk up.
Know that I'm gonna touch it, but I'm gonna go closer.
All right. So you move you go ahead and move yourself. You're standing in front of this name. It's listed amongst all the rest. It is listed first. And well, I guess at this range you might be able to do an investigation check, but if you touch it, it would be investigation. If you just want to look at it, it's perception.
It's just a little too fresh. What just happened?
Yeah, I mean, maybe take a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
still
taking
have
a
to resolve
moment.
My 20. I don't know. Maybe we'll get more information.
All right.
Yeah.
So with the 20, Henrietta, you're looking around and you're watching this relief, and there's all these angels. There's the angel and there's all the knights, and nice. So you are looking at this relief, and there seems to be. You're a bard. You've studied all kinds of art, music.
Totally.
Your family was, the ones who kind of pressed you into the service of paladinhood, but your first love was the arts, and especially having conversations and music. You struck up a long conversation with this visual crafting artist once, and he was going on and on and on one evening about perspective and how beautiful. The flashback to that, you're in a nice cozy inn, roaring fire nearby, and you're sitting there drinking. There's a whole bunch of you around. Now this was a slightly older, probably in his 40s, and you're in your 20s. You were with a bunch of different people. Most of them were in their cups at this point. It was towards the end, and this older gnome is going on at length about the beauty of perspective. Yes, you see, most people don't even see it, but if you see, there's almost like a draw, a focus of the eye. You can interpret depth. You can force someone to see on a surface what is deeper, further, past the surface, and yet, if it isn't done correctly, well, apparently it sounds exactly like the old man. I'm sorry. I only have two voices. But you see, if you do it wrong, you can inadvertently pull the eye away to the wrong spot. So you must always keep your perspective, young Henrietta. And this kind of conversation echoes in your head for a second as you're looking at this. Something looks a little funny about this. They did the depth of this relief so very well. This was master craftsmanship. And yet the arrangement, with the angel up high here, and the knights around, and the devils falling around them, and some of the devils rising up, it should all kind of draw the eye to a particular place. But it almost pushes the eye away, this strange allotment, and draws it as though they're all looking off to one direction. And it's not on the relief.
Right.
It's behind you, on the diagonal wall.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
You turn around and you look for a little while, and you're kind of watching their eye lines, and you kind of getting close, and everyone else is like, what are you doing? And Darmita is staring at her mother's name, just almost touching it in her hand, just kind of shaking a little bit unintentionally. And meanwhile, Henrietta is kind of looking at these carvings and sees where their all eye lines meet, walks up to it, and you see this very faint outline in the stones where there appears to be some kind of door.
Great.
A very well secreted, hidden door.
There's a way through here. I never detected anything in that direction, did I?
It otherwise would just be no, unfortunately not. There's no contracts up there. These large kind of stone carved altars, as it were. Styles? What are they?
I don't know that term.
I don't either.
Spell it out.
Steles. Let's see what chat
I've heard
says.
that word before. I don't
Stels?
know how it's pronounced. I also didn't know it was.
I thought it was like
Yeah.
Stell or something like
Stell.
that. Stell.
Yeah.
Stels. All right, let's say Stels because that's what the robot just said too. All right, so they're Stels.
Or steel.
Stels.
Steel. Yeah, steel.
Okay.
We're gonna call them Stels. Internet.
All right.
If you want to change my mind, feel free. All right. So the rest of you are kind of looking at these, and Darmita is just standing right, staring at her mother's name. What do you want to do?
And by the way, I got an 11 on my perception.
Persuasion.
Well, I rolled persuasion by accident, so
Gotcha. So you just change the modifier.
Yeah.
2. So it's 11.
Okay. So you just see her name there, and it's humbling and odd, and it reminds you of almost like a pre-memory. You were really young. I don't think you remembered when your mother left. You were very, very young, but like maybe 2, maybe 3, left you in the care of your father, who raised you up amongst the brigands and those who stuck to the woods, kind of Robin Hooding, but also just full on just stealing to survive, but also always eager to throw down against the Eye of Pelor, and the Knights of Pelor, which you've now discovered was the breakaway sect. You have such a vague recollection of like a shadowy figure reaching out in the dark. It's familiar. It's, if anything, this almost a wisp of an old smell. It's almost like clean cotton smell combined with like a field, and that's kind of this lingering scent that you catch just for a heartbeat, and then it's gone. All right, what do you want to do?
Does Henrietta point out the?
Oh yeah, she did.
Okay.
I did. I want to ask about either what I do remember or if the spell's still up. I don't mind casting it again if because I feel like it has worn out. It's like
Yeah, it did wear off basically.
But
as you entered.
I don't think I had any indication that contracts were that direction, but I did think that they were down like here-ish, right? Like, is that, am I remembering correctly? Or
This room was definitely about the right distance and the right direction, but looking around, I mean, there are names etched in stone. That could be it.
If those just are the contracts, I wouldn't be surprised at all, but okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm going to take a look. If Henrietta pointed out the hidden door, I'm going to take a look at it.
Sure.
I'm not sure what's back there yet, but there should be contracts in this room. I don't know what's up there.
You definitely get the impression that these are part of that. These were some of them, but it doesn't feel like you definitely had like draws, like pings in other rooms as well.
Yes, totally. Okay.
Do we
Is there,
see?
like, a
Sorry.
door handle or something?
No, you don't seem to have a door handle. Although you're welcome to try to open it in some way if you'd like.
Like push or?
Yeah, like can I mage hand push?
Sure, you can start poking around. I'll let you do either investigation or perception. It's your call.
Well, we might as well try it, even if it makes us look silly. I'll look at the door. Open the way for glory.
18.
Give a shrug. I might as well.
It was worth a try. And your voice echoes in the room with that nice alto tone voice of yours echoes throughout the hall. Nothing happens. And 18 on the perception. All right, things bounced around a little when she did that. Now they're switched. I don't know why it does that.
And
now you have to play each other's character.
I don't know why it actually turned off.
I don't know. Just some weird glitch.
Yeah.
All right, we'll fix that on a break, which is coming up soon anyway.
If Gordon turns off his cam and put it back on, it probably should swap them back.
Hey, give it a try. Technical issues. Technical.
You look good, Darmita.
Hey, good call, and nice job there, Darcy. Tech
I watch
support.
a lot of D&D shows.
Nice. All right, so Fenris with an 18, you're just like there, and this one brick sinks in a little bit, and it unlatches, and you use your mage hand to just shove it off to the side, and it grinds along as you shove it open. There's a relatively small room within. The light spilling in, it's on a slight angle, but you can make it out pretty easily. This is a small room. You examine it and you see some belongings. There's a desk. There's a writing table on the opposite end, a small bed, a small cot on the right, but it's made out of... You look at it and think, oh, that's a cot, but then you're like, wait a minute, no, that's a stone-raised platform. It's not really a bed. And then you look over here and you see a writing desk. And on the desk, a stack of 8 leather-bound journals resting atop a large writing table in this cramped chamber.
Get ready, Todd. We're going to read all of them. Go on.
Well,
Darmita.
I want to know whose writing is this? Like, who is this person?
Sure, you walk in and you investigate the journals? All right, go ahead and roll investigation.
Yeah, so I'll put my head in and be like, all right, not a lot of room in there. I'll look around here first.
Yeah.
Lead you to it. I'll take a look at the front wall.
4. Never mind.
Can I get you to do a wisdom save? I'm kidding. You're fine. You got to open up the tome. You flip open the tome, and it's just this very neat scrawled writing. And it's written in common, and it's going to take a while to decipher. This first page that you flip to doesn't start with any kind of identification or greeting. It's a simple date, although the date is several decades out of date. And you kind of flip through for a second as this tidy scrawl writing. And, it's almost like I definitely get the impression that somebody very organized, not super flourishy in their language, almost very militaristic kind of journaling of events and happenstance, and occasionally drifting off into thoughts and wonderings about, what might have been. And every once in a while, you see the passage kind of ending with something like, had the dream again. And then you flip a few more pages and you see, a few more things about patrols, and you get the impression this is a horrible, just descent, at a quick glance, a descent into a depression. But every once in a while you do pick up dream, happier in sleep, flip, finally return to the barracks, glad to get some rest. My soldiers faded and gone, yet still standing with me. It breaks my heart. To sleep I will find my peace. May we all find peace someday. And you flip the page again. Yeah, if you spend enough time, you'll probably figure it out, but at the moment, it's hard to say.
Okay. I'm going to... I'll ask if anyone wants to help me figure out these journals, because it might have some clue. Like Darmita might be someone that knows your mom, or it might be your mom.
All right, Darmita comes walking up, and again, it's a bit uncanny to see her so much older as she kind of answers you and leans in. You show her the journal. Darmita, you have precious little from your mother. There were some correspondences that you've seen. You don't have them on you, but you've seen them. Letters to your father. Early kind of joyful courting letters. You read them when you were really young. You do still have them, back on the material plane, hidden away in a chest, buried in a secret camp. but and wrapped in waterproof materials. The thing you do recognize immediately is the handwriting. These are your mother's journals.
Oh, okay.
Start to give a little hymnal prayer.
And I'm gonna just leave these journals with you, Darmita.
I think I would probably look a little bit through them.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel, how many are there?
There are 8 in all. In game terms, if you could flip through them relatively quickly, like a short rest or a long rest will give you a pretty good idea of what they would be. You wouldn't necessarily read every entry, but you could definitely flip. And it is a bit.
I'm not looking at them right now, but something someone might think to do is just to see how much time passes per journal, right? Look at first entry, last entry.
Well, A, how much time passes. B, I would be looking kind of for significant, like to figure out the time passes. I'd look kind of at the first entry.
Sure, they're not actually. I mean, you do a quick look and you see some of them are quite old. Some of them are a little bit newer. They've definitely been bound up in a satchel. They're pretty small individually. They're not much bigger than. I mean, I don't even have anything that size right now. Oh, probably about not even like half the size. So they're only each about maybe 5 or 6 inches wide by about 8 to 10 inches. Yeah, about 8 to 10 inches tall. They would fit nicely in a saddlebag, and there are 8 of them. So you can absolutely take them. And there doesn't seem like you move them carefully with your mage hand at first, and then Darmita touches one and doesn't have any spell effect. They don't seem to be enchanted or anything. You spend enough time kind of looking at them and just taking care. They don't appear to be trapped in any way. So you're welcome to touch them, move them, take them if you wish.
Darmita, I know this is your mom's personal journals. There may be a clue to where the sword is in here.
Mm-hmm. There also may be a clue how to deal with all of this.
Yeah. At first I thought maybe we could just take these journals away and read them on the road, but there might be something important here for this location.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't mind, maybe we split up the journals and we go through them to understand if there's a clue here to help us with, rather than just kind of potentially walking into a trap.
Yeah. I mean, it seems plausible that she spent a considerable amount of time here.
Yeah. So at least we'll get some insight, and maybe if we're lucky, some clue to where the sword is.
All right. So it's going to take you some time. You could rest in here. It's actually it's eerily. Sorry, what was that?
I want to cast detect magic in this room.
Sure.
While you're looking at the journals.
Absolutely. So
I
they
kneel down and utter a prayer and sing a prayer.
All right. As you're humming and then your voice begins to crescendo, the walls and everything kind of pulse with sound again, and you weave this song, and over time this kind of ethereal glow kind of etches its way across your vision, and you definitely get the sense of magic in this place. As you're sitting there watching these 4 Stells, let's call them Stells, they begin to glow, and you can see they discern a strong aura of necromantic magic emanating from the engraved names, as though they were written with malfeasance and intent. You get the impression that they are they are a trap, both for the soul that is here, bound here, and anyone who touches it. So, good call, Darmita.
Nice. Okay. So I do that. I open up my awareness.
You
to the
also
magical
get
fields.
the impression. Hold on. You get the impression that the names have an echo. It's this weird thing, as though they were written in stone and something in front of them was peeled back, and you get this weird flutter as you look at them. Some of the names are peeling themselves off and just falling to the floor, and they don't even hit the floor. They disappear before they do that. So you have the impression that something was also bound up with this, but is no longer here.
Yeah, so I do that, and I'm like, all right, that's the thing, and I sort of continue the hymn into a more directed prayer for guidance of, like, I don't want to defile a tomb, but I do want to help these people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just sort of putting that out there, religiously speaking. Anyway, go back.
Go ahead and roll a religion check for me. As these guys are busy poring over, Fenris kind of plunks his butt down on the stone bed. Darmita's
4 for her, 4 for me.
Yeah, exactly. You guys actually are you up in that room, or are you going to be back in the Stell's room? Darmita, you have the journals. You're both poring over in Nishida's retreat, as it is called.
I'll move myself into there.
Sure. So you both, the most comfortable place in the room is actually the stone bed. There is a desk, so there is also a chair. So you guys, sorry, go ahead. Your voice cut out.
I'm gonna be presumptuous and believe that this is somewhere that my mother spent considerable time if she's been writing all these journals.
Now, some of
here, so I'm actually going to go to the bed to try to feel if I can be closer to Mom.
Oh,
and I'll go to the desk then.
Sure. So, yeah, we'll basically switch places on the map. All right. So
music.
Yeah, you slap Fenris on the knee, and he gets the hint. Get off the bed. And you hop into the chair, and she sits on the bed, and just as you're reading over the next quite a while. By the way, Henrietta, you are allowed to ritually cast your detect magic. You've got time, so don't.
I am a bard. You're right. I can do that.
You can. So don't mark
bard,
the
not
spell
the
slot
paladin.
off. Absolutely. So you're busy doing that for a good 10, and the other guys are poring over this. I will count this as a short rest, assuming things don't change on you. So go ahead and mark off a short rest if you want. Meanwhile, Darmita starts sitting on the bed and then starts reading the journals. Some of them are from after the fall into hell, but a good number of them are from before as well, and the lead-up days. And I will read to you basically what you get out of it over a short rest. Congratulations, it's a short rest! Precious few and far between. All right, so I'll finish talking to Henrietta about the religion check she's going to roll, or did roll, in a minute. But right now, the journals tell you much. Nishida never recovered from Zariel's capitulation to Asmodeus and the subsequent transformation into a devil. Nishida blames herself for not seeing the warning signs of Zariel's fall from grace earlier on. She was drawn up with the rest of the Hell Riders in the determination to slay demons and stop the threat of fiends at all costs. In a later entry, you see that Nishida had tried to correct her mistake, hiding the sword in what she called the scab. But after torture and capture and torture by Zariel's forces, she was slain, taken to the mortal realm and slain, and returned to the hells where her soul was bound to this very place. And then Zariel would arrive after a time and let her out and bring her back and offer her to serve. And then when she refused again, she was dragged back to the mortal realms and slain painfully again. And the process repeated again and again. and again. And yet she never broke. Until one day, having been slain in the slow reformation in this place, she came into this very chamber, and Zariel was sitting on her bed, and you get this cold shudder. And Zariel, now transformed into an archdevil you know as the Eye of Pelor, flipping through these very journals and smiling, and said, "Now I know just how to break you. Dear Nishida, death does not frighten you. Watching others die, you've grown accustomed to. What is it you dream of? Where do you go? Nishida almost did try to slay the Eye of Pelor in that very moment. But the bonds are too strong. Direct commands hard to go against. Dragged one more time back to the mortal realm. Slaughtered. And as she was reforming, her soul dragged back into the hells, and a contract drawn up. An offer she could not refuse. The thing that was holding her together. Zariel's threat was a bit too much this time. And so she signed. She was transformed into that undead monster to serve forevermore. In another entry in the journal, Nishida describes Harriman, her one-time comrade in arms, a heartless man, bereft of compassion, transformed into a devil, sent back and forth to the mortal realms, hiding under the name. She didn't, at the time of the journal entry, didn't know that the name was actually Austrin, but she found it eventually. Austrin, bent on punishing anyone who stands in Zariel's way and drawing more mortals into the web of this lie. In another entry, Nishida mourns the death of her fallen warriors, and yet feels powerless to help them. Having searched this place again and again, and she uses the sentence, "My now undead eyes blind to too much." You found that one, Fenris. In another entry, Nishida, you find an entry, Darmita, you find an entry where she speaks so well of a man, and the name was written down, but it was scratched out. You gather for his own protection. Nishida speaks of the times they spent together with the simplest and most lovely, and the rest of that page is torn out. A few pages later, you see literally just the edgings of the beginning of 3 sentences. The first one says, "My love and I," and then it's torn. The next sentence down says, "I've lived a long," and then it's torn. The next sentence down says, "But never have I," and it's torn. And the last thing, just 2 letters, D, A. And it's torn.
So, can I just quickly interrupt and ask you to, if I got this right? The first one was my love and I.
More or less, words to such effect, yeah.
I lived along.
Cut off.
Never have I ever.
Never until would actually been.
Never until?
Never until na, and it's cut off.
Never until.
Or words to such effect.
And then cut off. And then DA. Uppercase, lowercase?
First letter of the last word is uppercase. Second letter lowercase. All right.
Stop on that and take a break. I feel like now's when we usually take a break.
Let's take a quick break. We got a little bit more to go, and we'll come back in just a moment. Let's take a quick 10-minute break. I know, well, you've only got another 15 after that, but that's okay. That's okay. At this moment, I will say, you know what? Are you cool to press on a little bit longer? Because I know Bela's got to get going in less than half an hour.
No, yeah, great for me.
We'll power through if that's all right.
Getting a ton of background noise from you. I was hoping to mention it on the break.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All this good RP, and I'm getting it wrecked. All right, let me see what I can do about that. Thank you.
Cool.
At this moment, I'm still good. I may be able to go an extra 15, maybe even an extra half. I don't know. But right now, I'm okay.
Okay.
So we'll just play it by ear, and I'm keeping my eye on it. But yeah.
All right. Thanks for letting me know.
A break is needed because Darmita's a little, which means Bela is a little like.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in for sure. All right. So meanwhile, Henrietta's been praying and begins to has cast Detect Magic. The other thing you get from these end on a religion check to parse them out, you get the impression, a very solid impression. This is part tomb, but it's a tomb against their will. This is a binding situation, and there's two parts to this. The stones are plain to see.
Instructed, like, if we can cross off their names from the contract, that's a good thing. But the concept of defiling a tomb is really for me. So I'm looking for, like, how do I respectfully break this down?
You definitely get the impression that the names on the tomb are one part of this. The etchings are, and they were carved in, and something had peeled away. And actually, you look around. Do a perception check for me.
Something literal had peeled away. I thought it was like spiritual or something.
I mean, it is both.
Sure,
it's when you're watching this in Detect Magic, you can see almost like an afterglow of an effect of the name kind of scrawling in place and then peeling off, and then the name remains in the stone, but there's something else with it.
Okay.
With a 12?
Of 10.
Unfortunately, well, hey, we're on a roll. Let's hurry it up. I'll just bring this down. So you go around the back of one of these.
Guidance. I could cast. Wait, no, I don't have guidance, do I? Never mind.
You kind of walk
get cantrips
around these with it carefully to avoid touching them. You kind of walk around behind them, and in the back corner, one of the names, Lieutenant Parson. The name is there, etched in the stone, and there's this small little triangle of what looks like not paper, but almost like a parchment, but a cloth etched parchment, and it's just torn, a little fragment of it, as though it was part of a longer one, and it's just, and the fragment tore away, and some of it is still bound to the stone. If you're really careful, you could probably get that little piece of paper off. Just for story's sake, let's say if you're foolish enough, I don't know, you pull out something to pry that off.
I'll pop my head into the room, see if Fenris would be willing to mage hand it for me.
Sure, I'll just mage hand it off if you tell me what's going on. Like, what do you say?
Yeah, you bring him up to speed, and as he steps out, Darmita's getting to one of those more heavy parts and kind of comes to herself as he shifts and realizes she's been laying down, reading the journals on this bed, just flipping through. So you go over and you quickly mage hand it off, and you've got this little piece of these tiny little piece of paper, and you get the idea that you see just the edge of this greenish, blackish ink where the end of the name Parsons was. So you're looking for some little tiny piece of written paper / cloth that has been torn away from these.
Okay,
and
Scooby Gang.
You definitely, having done your locate object and done that, and I said it was kind of like a really flash blurred, like bing, 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 binging. You had a small vision of this. You get the impression that this is one of these. This is the other half. And if both are destroyed, the small removed parchment and the stone etching itself, this contract can be broken.
Do I get any sign that I shouldn't break these yet? Like there's some like order I need to respect, or like I don't know.
If anything, as you spend more and more time with these are the work of fiendish hands.
Yeah.
Carved carefully and deliberately, and there's a sense of necrotic evil bound to this. The souls bound to them are not necessarily evil, but it was an evil act to force this upon them. Right. Breaking this will not. Breaking this will be a boon, not a curse.
Need to figure out how to break these down without told you they're cursed in a way that
I think these parchments,
your
what I read, they're being stored in a place where their undead eyes can't find them, can't see them.
Dead eyes. Right.
So we find this place, torch these parchments, and then we do part 2 here.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, we can kind of handwave a little bit of this because it's unlikely you're going to accidentally piss off a ghost, right?
Pretty accidentally.
All right, well, let's see. So, short rest over. The rest of you convene, talk to each other, tell each other what you all know, assuming Darmita shares everything. She might not share everything out of the journals.
I will actually share everything. Can I just ask you to repeat what the name of the location where she hid the sword was?
Nishida was trying to be a bit you can tell by the wording she was trying to be a little bit tricky about it. She didn't want the reader to know instantly, but she called it the Scab.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. I got to figure out.
Okay.
And
just be the Bleeding Citadel, entirely possible.
All right.
Figure out what she meant by that.
So once you head out of here, if it's okay, I'm going to say that you search and continue looking around. So you...
Yeah. I'm going to cast See Invisibility again, because my first one wore off.
Yeah. So you re-up that. There are no other exits from this chamber, so you backtrack back to the room where you fought the ghosts. And when you enter, Fenris, and all of you, you see... Well, Fenris sees the ghosts standing there, and they begin to kind of instinctually hide in their urns, but then as they see you, they for a moment stand at attention, just silently as you walk by.
I try to be more specific with my locate object spell now that I've seen a scrap of this parchment.
Absolutely. So you recast that
again.
Sure thing. So paying attention.
I don't want to get the ones behind us. I don't want to get the spells, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So,
other spell I'm at.
Okay. Anywhere that's C6. Okay, so this could just take me a moment to locate, because there are several, and over the next little while, you get a strong sense of pings in the following locations. I'm just going to reveal as you search. There's these hallways going down, and there are caskets, and these right in. Hold on one sec. Right in here, there are caskets entombed in the walls. Would you like to disturb the ominous caskets? All right. So you keep on going. Although there are, it does look like there might be some of the weapons and other items that are buried with these people could be nice and juicy. Maybe. All right. You get to the. Okay. All right. You get to the next room, and an iron urn in this room. Yeah, it opens up into kind of an L-shaped tomb, and it is the Warlock's tomb. An iron urn heaped with human bones squats in the alcove at one end of this hall. On the wall nearby, a carved relief shows a column of mounted knights charging through a portal into a fiery hellscape. So there is an urn, and it seems to have some sense of import. If you wish, you can investigate further or keep on looking. This was not a ping site, by the way. The ping sites, Darcy, were down here, and
I'll investigate, but I don't want to touch it or anything.
That's fine. Okay.
So we might have to go up and around, but
no. There are many.
Gonna be right.
Yeah. There are other exits from this place. Hold on, I gotta get to my review.
I'm saying we're either gonna have to go up and then back down again to get over here. But
there's a hallway.
At least you're gonna want to go this way to get down to the
There's a hallway going to the southwest, and then there's out of the top of the L directly north, and a curve immediately after. And then there's this Warlock's tomb. Actually, Fenris, as you're standing there, this relief of this carving of this gateway beckons to you. It's intricate. You knowing, I'm going to get you to do an Arcana check with advantage.
Ooh, could this be a gateway?
Could this be a gateway itself? That's quite a thought.
First one is a crit rate roll. 1d20 plus 5. 12.
All right. So, it's not a gateway, but it is carved in a very similar, if not exact, same fashion as the way gates that you came through. You can see that where the gems are and the rotating column bases that you ended up figuring out how to work on the fly. You can see that this... generally, you get the idea that the persons or person entombed here had something to do. The import of their connection to this whole thing has to do with those gateways.
Sorry, did you say that this is it's not a way gate, but it's kind of almost like a replica?
It would be an incredibly accurate, not drawing, but carving of one that is. It was made by someone who really knew that and understands the connection of and construction of the way gates. Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, you also see in this carving, the mounted knights, and again, kind of the perspective. The knights are almost an afterthought, but you see these people standing by in these robes, and all of a sudden you remember that battle beneath the prison when the robed figures in black, the servants of the Eye of Pelor, these twisted kind of warlocks, helping to build not just the way gates, but also you can see in the background this tomb. You can see a small replica of this tomb. You can see the way gates in the foreground. You can see the knights passing through, and you see these 8 or so kind of centralized figures who are obviously the angel Zariel is featured prominently, the archdevil actually, as you look closer. But these 8 figures kind of standing around, and it almost looks appreciatively towards these 8 figures. And you glance over at the urn with human bones inside.
Now, if I seem to recall in the dream with the blankie, and then like with the hag, Mad Maggie, that there's a link between the inscriptions on the Waygate and what I'm trying to remember, right? With like Esu Deus Rito Prima Material. Is there and I thought maybe I had to make my way back to the gate eventually, but is that here? Like, is it a replica? Can I see?
It's pretty close. Do an investigation check for me.
That is really good. I like that.
Yeah, I was like,
it's not just someone like, oh yes, I've heard of this tale of people going through a gate. Let me make an artistic interpretation. Like, this is it, right? Like, this is identical. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, 10.
You kneel down and you're trying to get a look, and you're like, okay, the runes that sort of reminded you of this, there are similar runes etched along, but the angle is wrong. All right, go for it.
I will spend a luck point.
Go for it.
Because this is interesting. I didn't expect this, but this is interesting. Even though it's only
Todd did either.
13.
13's a little better. All right. You get enough. You're like, Essa. Yes, there's the rune for Essa. Tisu. Yeah. Okay. There's Reto. Okay. Cool. You know those ones. Something. Prima Material. The last third. Oh my God. You can't see it all, but all of a sudden you see part of another rune, and you're like, I know what this is. I don't know the ending piece, but I know what it means now. This is like the plane shift spell. If you could get that last piece, you could do it. And as Henrietta continues on down the hall, and Darmita is still distracted and if not flipping through the journal actively, certainly thinking about it, you miss the scratching noises, the scraping heels, the delicate drag of cloth along the ground, as from behind you, in each entrance, the subtle drag of stone almost soundlessly moving, as several different things begin to enter the chamber, disturbed. One of them, actually 2 of them, rising up out of the urn behind Fenris. 2 more stepping out from these seemingly harmless carvings in the walls. But they shift, and suddenly they're no longer carvings. They were just places in which these incredibly still beings could stand. As these robed figures step forward, and in each of them, underneath their robes, bound tightly with this cloth, bandages stretching across all of them, bound with runes and trinkets of their lives. These undead creatures stepping out of the darkness and out of hiding into the light. And now you see, you are fully surrounded by these, not 1, 2, 3, 4 mummies stepping into this room. The undead bodies of the very warlocks that you noticed. And finally, one of them, as you're staring at this relief, the whole thing shifts a little bit, and it just opens enough, and you see these wrapped fingers slide it back, and you scramble back to the middle of the room. And now you are now fully surrounded.
Henrietta had been leaving originally, and presumably everything that Fenris is doing took more than just a moment. So
it did.
Noticed and turned to look back.
So as you're looking back, these bandaged, wrapped fingers from out of the darkness begin reaching for you. All right.
Make a reactive pre-initiative religion check to know if there's any special significance or if it's just whatever.
Sure, go for it.
Cool, thanks. 14.
Well, they look a whole hell of a lot like those warlocks of Zariel in the relief. This looks like they were here, and as you're stepping back, they begin to speak, and their voices echo and almost sound as though they are one voice. The tomb we've wrought.
I don't recognize the runes as being anything
with our hands.
I might assume it's a magic thing.
Yeah,
not a religious thing. Cool.
The tomb we've wrought with our hands, our bargain made, and now you will lie here as well. And with that, I think we're going to call it a night. Your mic's not on there, Darmita. I mean, we can keep going if you want to. Yes. Or we can do it for...
I could end this... I don't know.
Okay, it's up to Gord.
Yeah, you know what? I'm good for a little
We could end on a cliffhanger, or we can keep on going. All right.
Yeah, no.
It's Bella's birthday real soon, so I'm going to leave this up to her. We can dive in if you want to.
Up to you, Bella. We can finish this fight.
Minutes.
Said. Cliffhanger.
Yofin's voting for the cliffhanger.
Gelfin. Oh, I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm good either way, but yeah, no, I don't have to leave right now. It's not a requirement.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to look this up. So why don't we take a quick break? It's 10 minutes okay by you, Darmita, or do you want a little less, or Bella?
5 to 7 or
okay,
so.
Let's do 7 minutes. We'll be back in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. All right.
Could be doing 7 minutes. I don't know.
I can do a lot in 7 minutes. All right, everybody, we'll be right back after a 7-minute break. This is as close to a cliffhanger as we can do for you there, Yelfin.
Said. 7 minutes.
7 minutes in hell.
Episode title.
Said. 6 minutes, 50 seconds.
All right, let's do this thing. I have sat down. We are in the end game now, also copywritten. All right, so hi everybody. You are finding yourselves. Sorry, we're back. We're gonna continue playing some Dungeons and Dragons. They're surrounded by mummies, these rotten flesh, just concealed by bandages. These old, withered, wearing these warlock robes. Reaching for all of you as they step out of these little, very intricately carved resting spots around the tomb. Now, you definitely get the impression that they are servants of the fallen Zariel. You can see now that they have, unlike the ghosts, they seem to be eager in their approach. The ghosts initially seemed hesitant. These creatures... they seem hungry. What do you want to do?
Is it initiative?
Well, I'll give you a second to kind of try to figure something out.
I will immediately step forward, hold up my shield, and say, "Return to your rest." And I will cast Return the Unholy. It's everything in 30 feet of me. It's undead.
All right. So we'll take that as a declaring. What are you going to do, Darmita? Oh, and can we get the camera flick again there, Gordon? Or somebody? Or do I have to fix some cameras? Hey, that did it. Thank you.
Step up to here.
What are you going to do, Darmita?
I'm going to kind of stand as big as I can. Harness my best mom, and say, I command you to stand down in the name of Paylor.
Nice. And what are you going to do, Fenris?
Has fireball on my feet and fry everything.
I was hoping to get a fireball going, but since they're both in the room, I'm gonna blink.
Okay. All right.
I
So
should say Misty Step. I'm gonna Misty Step.
okay. So let's resolve this in order. Fenris. I'm just going to go around the horn until we're into initiative. So Fenris, because that's a bonus action, goes off first. Just the creature reaching towards you from the relief that you were just looking at, and you stagger back as its hand reaches out, and you just whoosh, where do you want to be? You can be anywhere 30 feet from where you were, which is pretty much right.
So where I'm here, I'm probably going to go 1.
I would say you would, because you were looking at that thing incredibly closely, you'd stepped back to about let me just move you if that's all right.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So you were investigating that relief, which is right where this thing is now standing, and it literally opened as you were looking at it, and you're like, whoa, and these hands started reaching for you. You stagger back 5 feet, and then you can trigger it. So from anywhere from this point, you can go 30 feet.
Probably gonna. Oh, I just realized that I'll be right in front of this other mummy that I didn't see before.
Yeah.
You only have a heartbeat to pick your destination.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go I'm not gonna go the full 30 feet, but I'm just gonna go like this. Boop.
All right.
On the other
swap
side.
spots. Yeah.
Get the
Swap
bulk
spots.
of them.
I like to
Absolutely.
step forward at the same time as I walk in, play
And
the
I would-
shield up. Yeah.
The shadows
One
just
behind
around you, and
Henrietta. I would probably just cantrip fire firebolt.
all right. You glance past. All right, let's resolve the next thing. Hold on. Henrietta's stepping in at that very second and calls out to them. And what's the effect that you? Well, actually, let's resolve Darmita's for 1 second, if that's all right, Henrietta.
Safe with me. I love that.
All right, so Darmita stands tall and in a commanding voice. Go ahead and roll. If it was Shadowrun, I'd say leadership, but let's say persuasion. Is there a leadership skill with this? I think it's probably persuasion.
Unless you're intimidating people.
Could be intimidating. Intimidate or persuade.
It won't really matter.
That's the same. Yeah.
18.
Nice. They all kind of wince at the call of your name, and especially when you invoke Peller's name. They all just we haven't served Pelor in a long time. This rot stench echoing out. The one on this side is the one that tends to do the speaking there. And the others keep walking. Although they hesitated, almost out of old instinct, they kind of glance at each other and then look at you. It definitely threw them off, but it's not going to keep them at bay. They don't seem to serve Nishida. Or do they? Okay, next up, Henrietta, come on in.
Right. I would like every single one to make a wisdom save DC 16.
All right.
I think that should work. How do I do this? How do I make this speak? Is it this button? Boom.
Oh, those are some awful, awful rolls. All right, so, and these are... Oh, on the break, I was supposed to look up mummies. All right.
These are warlock mummies. They're different.
Yeah. 228. 228. I know that someone on the internet was like, it's 228! Yep, it is. It is. I got you.
I'm surprised that they have decent wisdom, just because they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not super great. All right, so 16, you say?
16.
So fail. We're starting at the top and work our way around. So starting at the from the center top, right there, this one. Fail.
Mm-hmm.
Fail. Succeed. Fail. And what does that do?
Let's see.
Fails the saving throw, it's turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. It must spend its turn trying to run the heck away. I actually really like that. That's awesome. All right, so only 2 of them succeeded. So let me just... all right.
Like a weird mix. It's like...
I'm just going to mark the ones that are...
You're a bard cleric, but you're a paladin, and it's a cleric paladin, and yeah.
You're
all the stuff.
Birdlicklidin. All right, so I just marked the ones that are not trying to get the heck away from you right now. So between Darmita standing up and commanding them and you stepping forward, like, we do not serve nor fear Pelar. And then you step in with this glowing shield. This light bounces off of them and they
there would have been a
hiss.
casting of light on the shield after the...
Oh yeah, it's an
rest.
auto. And you're just like, this brilliant light. This time it was you casting, so you get to pick the color. These are the things that matter.
Yeah, it's like just a white light.
Yeah, of course it is. So this brilliant bright white light of Pelor comes walking in the room seemingly at Darmita's beckon. And they hiss and flinch and scramble and start clawing at the walls. These ones that are in the corner begin to claw at the walls and then at each other and start digging down into the urn, just tossing bones and ash and other things like trinkets and necklace, and a few other things come flying out as they begin to just try to dig to the bottom, pulling ash over top of themselves. A stick, a wand, falls out, a necklace, all kinds of things they just toss out of the urn as they begin to throw this ash over themselves, trying to get as far away from you as possible. This one turns and just starts rushing the door, slamming into the other ones as they try to move through the same door, and they kind of bottleneck. These ones begin to go around the corner and just book it away. This one starts running away. These ones book it around the corner. I'm just going to drag them right over there. These two begin fleeing off down the way that you came in. And
ask you something about how they spoke, right? Like they responded semi-intelligently. This is not like
they are undead, but they do
right.
They do have languages that they knew in life, right?
Sure.
And
these feel like they have a semblance of their former selves to them, even if it's just like an echo of it.
Yep, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they're not zombies. I mean, these are legitimately mummies. So there's a significant amount of intelligence there.
That's what I thought.
And they would have known their lives. All right. And the choices they made. Yeah, so these ones are busy trying to claw their way down inside, but they don't appear to be attacking you. The one right next to you...
Swim the shield around and it lands right in front of this one that saved. At the bear,
yeah, and that one is going to have a chance, and the other one near Fenris was already just reaching out for him and starts closing in. All right,
can I actually use my action though before he comes?
Yes, you can.
Use my action.
Yeah, you didn't.
Pop that fire.
Yeah, I'm going to.
It's actually a pretty epic moment with Darmita calling out and be like, "Command." That's fun. I like it.
Love it.
I am going to.
I love when you sidestep my encounters.
You know what? I don't even want him to get before he even moved towards me. If you move back a couple.
Yeah, he's on his way.
You still have time to do ranged attack. Yeah.
I'm basically just I will firebolt him. Not fireball. I'm not going to waste a fireball on.
You can't do two spells, right?
All right, so firebolt, make your roll.
To hit 22.
22 hits, absolutely.
Okay. And he takes 3d10. Wonder. 13.
I'm going to let you decide whether you want to re-roll those or just double the total as the flames hit it, and the robes that are... You can see on these robes that they're Elturel robes, except they've been... where it would say anything iconography for Pelor, it's been desecrated with the eye of Pelor kind of scratched or etched or patched over top. And the fireball hits it right in the chest and blossoms inside its own ribcage, and the cloth and everything is very dry. It's been down and just starts to burn and catches on fire. It is vulnerable to fire. So I'll let you decide.
If you hadn't done it.
It is vulnerable to fire, and so you can either roll those d10s again or just double the damage. It's your call. You got 13.
Can I empower the one? I'm gonna. What if I?
Yeah, you can empower it.
Double.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Empower the one.
Yeah, empower the one and then double the damage.
Nice.
Oh no,
it's a 2.
So 14, 28 damage. 28 damage.
All right, so 28 damage. Whoo! As this thing's like, you see the smoke beginning. It's still standing, but it is not pleased at all.
All right.
Alrighty, so 22 damage, and it is on fire, taking ongoing damage. All right, coming up next, let's.
28 damage.
You know, are you guys cool if we just keep the initiative from the last one?
Yeah, sure.
That was essentially. Well, you know what? Roll initiative. I'll write it down. We gotta do this right. What am I trying to cheat you? You gotta rest and everything.
You're not trying to cheat us. We rolled really well.
You did. All right.
But I'll roll. Sure.
Make your rolls, and I'll roll on this end.
Nat 20.
17.
So I got a 23 as well, but not a nat 20, 23.
All right, 7. Sorry, what was that again?
So Darcy got a 23 with a nat 20. I got a 23.
Nice. Pair of 23s. You are only going up in the world now. So Darmita got 23. Darmita has higher dex, so she'll go first, then Henrietta. Then Fenris on the 17. And... Okay. Okay, so take it away, Darmita.
Well, I know this is going to come as a shock and a surprise, but with this guy here, because I kind of saw, I can gauge that the others are running, so this guy who's still reaching for Hen, I'm bonus action Hunter's Mark.
Consider it marked.
Ooh.
Go for it.
19.
Now, just so you know, I'm getting a little timey-wimey, but these ones fleeing, probably you could get a shot off at this one as well if you would like. It's up to you. You can just make it out.
One's attacking, not the ones running away.
Okay, fair. Just check.
I'm a skilled ranger. Come on.
You know when something's not going to fight you unless you damage it. The DM's got to put the trap there. You've been touching all the traps today.
I know.
Actually, not really. You almost did. All right, so... All right, go ahead and make your rolls. 19 hits.
No, and then 18.
Both of those hit.
So another... Ooh, that's not too bad. So...
15.
19. Yeah.
28.
28, and it is the first round, so...
All right, and he's still standing?
Yep.
And after my Paladin Bard? 17.
17 hits. They do not have great armor.
What a bizarre 19, 18, 17. So another 10. We're up to 38.
Ooh, that is so much damage. These arrows are sticking into various places and finding purchase, doing significant damage. It is still standing, although it is flinching a little bit and just still bent on intense rage on that beacon of light that is Henrietta. All right.
It's
pardon?
50 total.
Yep, still up. It is badly, like, one of the limbs falls off. It's just batting at Henrietta with, like, just the elbow socket, but it is still standing. All right, I forgot what a murderess you were. All right, coming up next, Henrietta.
Right.
It is
I'm like
rough,
right
though.
face to face with this. Probably it's like clawing at the shield, and I'm like holding it basically like in its mouth. At this
Yeah, and
point.
these arrows just slamming into it.
And I just like stare into, I don't like empty eye sockets or something. I don't entirely know.
There is an undead flicker of light in there.
Stand down. Steady yourself. You don't serve anyone anymore. Return to your rest. And I might just do nothing, and I'm okay with that.
Okay. It mutters at you and says, I serve the eye. We serve the eye. We all must. And it keeps clawing its way towards you. Good try, though. All right.
I'll take it. Like I'll have that be a dodge mechanically.
Sure, absolutely. All right, coming up next, you're all aware of all the battle and everything, but there is Darmita in particular actually catches this first. There's this weird pulse, and nothing seems different. But around you, you get this sense, like extreme, not as loud as this, but extremely distant, like, but much, much quieter. But that rumbling tone just rattling the floor a little bit, like a few things just bounce along the ground as you see these fleeing mummies, and you're like, wait. And Darmita in particular, you for a second hear something. And I hope I get this right. And there's two to choose from. I should have probably chosen this before.
Whoever. Whoa, that's not it.
Whoever? Yeah, that's close. Whoever is desecrating will be destroyed.
Would you give me a free action to say that out loud and mimic, like...
Yeah, totally.
I would say that out loud.
You hear Darmita almost in a different voice. Now, it could be just that her voice has shifted and gone a little lower with age. But she calls out in this voice. Okay. Coming up next.
Continue to lock eyes with my mummy friend here.
Yeah, you're definitely locked.
Say, stop desecrating yourself.
No, stop desecrating yourself. Stop desecrating yourself.
They are. Look at everyone. They're scrambling in the dirt.
Awesome. I think that might be an episode title. All right. So Fenris, it's your turn.
Me or the mummy?
You.
Okay.
In game
so
mechanics,
10 feet
something
away,
else happened at 18.
I'm going to... Ooh, this is interesting. Yeah, I will firebolt him again. The one I originally did.
Okay. Yeah, that was surprisingly
17?
effective. 17? That hits.
So I'm going to empower the 2 and the 4.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Take your
10.
time.
So 8, 7, 6.
Nice. Woo!
15, 21, 42 damage.
Whoa!
Right.
It just...
15.
Blap! You've blasted again the second time, and the whole thing just burns away, and the sinew stops holding it together. The cloth just falls, and it's just its hands still reaching out to you as the bone clatter out from underneath it, and it just falls into a pile of burning robes, rags, and bones. No more, sir.
Nice. Just move it a little over here. Done.
Cool. What's my good friend here do?
All right. The last one that's clawing at you is badly damaged. And it starts, it's going to try to use, you're locking eyes with it, and you get,
yeah, I will.
yeah, you do. You get,
Always a good thing to do to monsters.
the mummy's eyes kind of flicker and flash with this undead putrescence as all of a sudden you experience what is known as its dreadful glare.
Nice, love it.
The mummy targets one creature it can see within 60 feet. If the target can see the mummy, which you can, locked eye to eye. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Love it. 16.
All right. Okay, so it's 16. You succeed, so you're not frightened of it. And you're never going to be frightened of mummies for 24 hours. It also swings at you with its fists, its rotting fists.
Okay.
Hold on, I got to get
He's
back.
trying to hit 21 at disadvantage.
Oh, right, it's disadvantage. Good
I
call.
dodged.
Okay, so the 18 might have done it. It's the first one was a 23, so it would have hit. The second was only an 18. So the rotted fist just you get your shield. Actually,
Yeah, I
the
catch it in the shield there.
it actually pulls it down a little bit. And the shot would have come through, but the clangs off the side of the helm that you're wearing. It just doesn't do any damage. It just kind of rattles your cage a little bit. All right, so you succeed. It does not actually
We're
get
here
you.
Only to pay our respects. Do not make us do anything that you will regret.
All right, thank you. So coming up next, top of the order, Darmita.
Okay.
At 10 minutes.
I hear the kind of comment by Hen to him, or it, them. And I disregard it and shoot at it anyway.
Oh yeah, you should always ignore me.
Ignore the pacifist. Deal the damage.
27 for 7 damage plus, oh, effing poo.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Sorry, which people? 10 damage, and then for my second...
This is on the one that's on... sorry, which one?
It's the one with the hunter's mark.
The one with the hunter's mark. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
So I'm assuming 10 damage didn't take it down with the previous 50.
No, it actually does. Your arrow... It had 8 hit points left.
In that case, then, would you allow me... Oh, wait. There's nothing else standing.
There is nothing else. The other ones go scrambling away. These two have dug themselves underneath. This one is no more. And as you kind of draw the arrows ready and knocked, you just get that flashback to all those times. You were just like, you almost hear your father's voice. And reload, and reload. Get ready your next shot. Do not watch the arrow strike. Get the next one in the air. You remember those lessons with your father in the forests, and you're thinking of this. Internet, I'm going to need something from you. Internet, I don't think it's canon. I don't think we have this yet. What was your father's name, Darmita?
We don't have it.
So
came up once, maybe.
Someone here can say it, or someone on the internet. You are welcome to name Darmita's dad. Hopefully respectfully.
Out there, so come on. I need a good name.
Not in your notes, huh, Gordon? I always trust your notes.
No. I have the dad's name.
When it comes to my family, I do write quite extensive notes, and I'm looking on my notepad. And
It might have been. I don't think we had a name for that. So
I
anyway,
don't think we had his name.
as we await the internet to name your daddy, you're thinking of that moment, those lessons he taught you in the forest, and you've got the next arrow almost in the air, and you realize that mummy just crumbled into rags, at the feet of Henrietta. You hear the other two scratching, but you know they're no threat, and you cast your eye around and you're looking.
Yeah, at that point, I will...
Hold on. Yalfin's got a name for you. Dalshar, Perculus, Hector, Davanish, Kelishtar the Third. Hot damn. Thank you, Yalfin.
Just call him Dow.
Dow. All right, you're thinking to yourself, well,
Holy damn, Dow.
Holy damn, Dow. And you're thinking that to yourself, just that brief memory. And in your head, a few seconds later,
What? What did you say?
And behind you, stepping out of the hallway, you see this woman, large, blackened, broken, damaged, feathery wings. A fallen deva. More to the point, the undead deva Death Knight's servant paused, sword down. Actually, you all hear the clang as she drops this wrought iron, wretched-looking, terrible, wicked-looking blade clatters to the ground. Darmita turns around.
Before it falls, Henrietta's like, all right, we have to go. They won't stay back for long, right? And is trying to get everyone to move, and then that happens.
And then Darmita turns and just sees her mother looking at her.
I see you're in my tomb. In the tomb of my men. You look so familiar. Who are you?
And all I say is, Mom?
We gotta cut the black. We gotta do it.
And cut to black.
In her voice. All right. So,
go, Yelfin. There's your cliffhanger.
There's your cliffhanger, Yelfin. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Times.
Whew. Got a couple. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yay.
I love how anticlimactic the robot voice. All right, internet. I was getting all. Whew. It's all good. So first of all, I hope you enjoyed your birthday week game there, Bella.
Thank you for celebrating with me, everybody.
Happy too. And I'm so glad that we got to really dig into this. Internet or players, we're going to need a name for this episode.
Who's your daddy?
No, it all worked out so well. Like table talk, I'd love to sit around and do some table talk after this, but
I can't. I actually got a notification. My other stream just popped up. So.
Nice. All right, you go party. All right, get your party on.
I am.
I'm going to start the lights in honor of your party.
What's it like to be 19? It's fabulous, Yelfin. I promise you. Many, many moons ago.
Oh.
All right.
Right?
Oh, it does. It goes so fast. Yeah. Suddenly you're 66. Nice. All right. So, sorry, was that the name suggestion or?
Suddenly you're 66. It wasn't, but.
And suddenly you're 66. We do want to have the name. By the way, that was a good time, and I just love the way that worked out with you thinking about your dad and thinking about your mom, and then boom, and she can tell you're connected communally and telepathically. She's a deva, so she can communicate telepathically. I love it when a game comes together. Not a plan, because I barely planned anything, but a game. I love that magic. So thank you for joining us for a little bit of that magic and being a part of it. So thanks, guys, at the table, and hopefully next week we can get back into this tomb. So Thursday next week. And we'll also do a Shadowrun soon as well. I don't know when exactly. My work's a little crazy, but that's the idea. All right, Internet, we need a name! Or do you guys want to take one of those?
What was the one I said before? I don't know.
To be or something. Anyway, 3 minutes and counting.
All right, get out of here, Bella. Go party. Get your party on. Aw, that's lovely. Hooray!
Hooray.
Thanks very much, everybody. We'll check out the name after the fact. I'll rewatch, and worst case scenario, and suddenly you're 66. All right, thanks, everybody. I will stick around for some after chat if anybody wants to, but otherwise, we'll let the people get out of here and go have a party. Cheers, everybody. That's not what I wanted.
You've been listening to SideQuest Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. We try to record all of our games as much as possible, whether that's Dungeons & Dragons or Shadowrun or another tabletop role-playing game. Just a quick side note about all the licenses and copyrights involved. Our music is all Creative Commons attribution music on our live stream video feed or YouTube replay or Twitch VOD. We always attribute each individual artist, so be sure to check out those individual artist attributions. Lots of love to so many people who make their work available so that we can do what we do. So thank you. It influences our game. It makes it immeasurably better. So much appreciation for them. Let's not forget the makers of the games. Dungeons & Dragons is copywritten by Wizards of the Coast. They own it. They make it available to all of us to play, and it's wonderful. We are in no way affiliated with them, and nor do they endorse this podcast, but we are very appreciative. The other game we often play is Shadowrun, which is Catalyst Games. And again, we are not affiliated with them, and they do not endorse us, but we really appreciate their game, and we hope you appreciate our game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube, and watch for those live games once we're streaming them out. And of course, we do accept suggestions for names, so please hit us up on Instagram and name our stuff. All right, thanks so much. I'm Todd, and this has been SideQuest Live. We'll see you again soon.